Shout out to everybody here. My name is Samuel James Price. Every single day, I go over the news. It's a 3 to 5 minute segment during my live stream where I break down what's happening in finance, Web3, and cryptocurrency. Today, we're going to talk about Tether as it cites $3.3 billion shareholder capital cushion and the latest transparency report. I believe Tether has more backing than most banks. I think eventually Tether's going to be able to call up the banks and tell them, you fractional reserve, we actually have it. They're going to try to flip crypto on its head. We're going to flip the banking industry on its head. Tether issues of stablecoin USDT revealed on Thursday that its asset has fallen slightly to $8.6 billion, down from $8.5 billion in July. Total liabilities dropped to $82.8 billion from $83.2 billion last month. The difference of $3.3 billion is about 4% of its liabilities. Tether cites as shareholder equity buffer in an update. Tether issues USDT tokens across 15 different blockchains. Among these, the Solana ecosystem is pre-authorized for the highest value of issuance at $1.5 billion, followed by Ethereum and Tron with pre-authorized values of $617 million and $350 million, respectively. The transparency report from Tether supplements its quarterly reserve attestation intended to address ongoing concerns about the stablecoin's asset backing and liquidity. Tether's here to stay, man, long term. That's what I say. You can believe me if you want, but I met Reeve Collins, the creator of Tether, in Miami. I looked him dead in his face. He had that twinkle in his eye. He's connected. Tether ain't going anywhere, I'm telling you right now. Bitcoin mining difficulty reaches all-time high. That's great. As the difficulty gets higher, the network becomes more secure. The more computing power you have to get through the equations to mine Bitcoin, the better off the network is, because then you have to spend way more money to attack the network. This is why Bitcoin is so awesome. This is why you have to understand mining to fully understand Bitcoin. If you don't understand mining and hash rate, then you kind of may not understand why I invest in it. I invest in Bitcoin mainly when I figured out the mining and the hash rate. That's when I went all in. That's when I knew that Bitcoin had something. Some people can't understand it. I guess I don't know why. My brain, it just made perfect sense to me when I looked at how the algorithm was created. I read a little bit of the white paper and I saw how the mining was being distributed and how the hash rate would continue to go up in difficulty level. And I could break it down for you right now. More people mine, the difficulty level goes up. The smaller miners have to leave because they can't afford it. When the small miners leave, the difficulty level goes down a little bit enough over time and the electricity for miners to get back in. It's an inflow and outflow of miners that come in because it's profitable and have to leave because it's unprofitable. Then you have the big boys that can handle the downtrend and they have huge mining systems and they can go through the long term. They sustain the network during that period of the inflow and the outflow of miners. This way, the hash rate goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, but generally continues up. That's why today we see that the hash rate is at an all-time high. Bitcoin's mining difficulty level reached an all-time high of 55.62 trillion hashes this week. According to Bitfinex analysts, the increase in mining difficulty suggests miners believe the current Bitcoin level is fairly valued and maybe a little underpriced of its true value. I believe Bitcoin's true value is around 35,000 right now, probably definitely a little lower, but higher than we are now. We're lower than it is. So that's a big deal. Also, I want you to keep looking at Lido Finance. They're continuing to grow. That liquid staking is gaining some momentum. I believe Lido will do big things in this next big bull run. And look, they partnered with Nil Foundation to build a ZK Oracle. So they're going to have ZK roll-ups. They're going to keep moving. They're not going to fall to the wayside. Keep Lido DAO on your radar. U.S. crypto tax proposal lets miners off the hook, snares some decentralized exchanges. The IRS has finally proposed rules for crypto tax, reporting giving the industry its own 1099 form and declaring digital asset miners safe from future requirements. Crypto exchanges, some hosted wallet providers, and payment processors will face new tax rules in as soon as 2 years. The proposal, which is open to comment period and build hearings, would exempt miners and certain other types of activities. The U.S. Treasury Department has finally unveiled its definition of a broker for the crypto industry, defining how crypto companies and investors will need to meet tax reporting obligations and answering a years-old question on whether decentralized finance platforms and miners will need to gather their users' personal data. The Treasury Department published a near 300-page proposed rule on Friday in response to the 2021 Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. This is huge. We're finally getting something. And you can kind of deep dive this and go further into it and who's included and what's happening. But this is great news. We're finally getting some type of movement in Congress. We're finally getting the beginnings of regulatory framework. I like to see it. And CME, I just want to give you up. We will have a new rate hike on the 20th of September. It's a 78% chance that they will not raise the rates. That is bullish for us until things change, to keep you up to date. All right. So Tether, Lido DAO, and U.S. crypto tax proposals, and the Fed. Everybody, thank you so much for watching the news. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, I go live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. I can't wait to see you there on the next live stream.